Have you ever felt scared to do something? Like, scared? Well, guess what? Even big stars like Will Smith feel that way sometimes. Will Smith, a name that resonates with success and achievement. From starring in blockbuster movies like Men in Black, to winning Grammy Awards and producing hit TV shows. He's shown us what hard work and courage can accomplish. But beyond his Hollywood fame, Smith's philosophy on fear is something we can all relate to. Despite being a highly successful actor, producer, and rapper, Smith admitted that the thought of jumping out of a plane terrified him. For years, he had avoided skydiving, letting fear keep him grounded. Finally, Smith decided to face his fear head-on. He described the experience as a mix of excitement and terror. As the plane took off, the joy of the jump built up, and his fear increased. But the moment he jumped off the plane, everything changed. The initial anxiety disappeared, replaced by a sense of freedom. According to Smith, fear is something that grows in our minds before we act. But once we take a step, it often vanishes. We must accept that fear is a normal part of life, and it doesn't have to rule over us. He encourages using fear as a motivation rather than allowing it to imprison us. This approach transforms fear into something positive, and along with the right mindset, you can use fear as a stepping stone to greater achievements. Will Smith's story gives a powerful framework for understanding fear. But what exactly is fear, and why does it have so much control over us? In this video, we'll look into this and explore practical strategies to overcome it. So without further ado, let's begin. Fear is a kind of emotion, a powerful one that each of us feel at some point in our lives. It's that racing heartbeat, sweaty palms, eyes close to crying, and that voice inside you that says, "What if?" It can be a paralyzing emotion, holding people back from chasing their dreams, taking risks, or even just stepping outside their comfort zone. If you see a snake with black and red stripes, and know that it has killed millions of people, then you recognize that snake is dangerous, which built fear in you regarding snakes, and so you avoid it. This is a natural response to the unknown, to danger, or to the possibility of failure. But in today's world, fear is rarely something physical. It's something imagined, like failing a test. It's a normal part of life, but sometimes it can be overwhelming. Everyone experiences fear differently, and what scares one person might not scare another. The key is to understand your fear and to find healthy ways to manage it. So let's have a look at the history of fear, and then what causes fear to occur in the first place. The human mind is wired for survival, a trait that we humans have inherited from our mammalian predecessors as a preserved feature of our nervous system. In ancient times, fear was important. It was a natural response that helped early humans avoid dangers like predators and environmental threats. This survival instinct is passed in our DNA. When something feels dangerous, the amygdala, a small almond-shaped region in our brain that acts as an alarm system, sends out a warning signal, causing us to either defend ourselves or run away. This is known as the fight or flight response. In the past, fear kept people alive in dangerous situations. It protected our forefathers from all possible dangers in that area. As we evolved, this mechanism remained the same. But the threats have changed. Today, our threats are not physical, but our minds still react in similar ways. Our minds take anything we don't want to face as something we want to protect ourselves from, such as a dangerous situation like public speaking, failure, or social rejection. Because the amygdala, which processes emotion, can't always differentiate between real threats and imagined threats. So the brain still treats modern threats like ancient dangers, triggering the same fear response, often exaggerating them for safety. Fear typically begins in our minds, often as a result of imagined events. It's a normal reaction that comes from our need to defend ourselves against threats. When we're scared, our brain is predicting something bad might occur, even if there's no real threat. This is often driven by past experiences or stories we've heard that stick in our minds. For example, if someone has a bad experience with public speaking, they might develop a fear of speaking in front of others. Their brain recalls the unpleasant event every time they came across a similar situation and alerts them to stay away. This explains why facing anxieties can feel so overpowering. They are our mind's efforts based on previous experiences to protect us. But most fears are built up from what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. This constant state of vigilance can have some serious negative impacts on our lives if we don't acknowledge them. How so? When fear takes hold of us, it can negatively affect our lives in a significant way. It is like a shadow that hangs over every choice you make, stopping you from realizing all that you can be. Studies have shown that chronic fear can lead to mental health issues like anxiety and depression, sometimes even to suicide, affecting overall well-being. The mind, trapped by fear, often focuses on the worst-case scenario, paralyzing decision-making and stifling creativity. It disrupts sleep cycles, making it difficult to get a decent night's sleep, which has an impact on general well-being. Fear psychologically often results in low self-worth and lack of trust. People who are afraid of failing may shy away from taking on new tasks or challenges. This can limit both professional and personal development, making it more difficult to take risks and meet goals. Relationships are impacted by fear as well. It can cause people to become distant or overly dependent on others, which can lead to disagreements and miscommunications. Fear can cause loneliness in social situations. A fearful person could avoid social situations, which can lead to loneliness and a feeling of being cut off from other people. It is more difficult to break free from the cycle of worry and anxiety as a result of this isolation. If you find this video valuable and want more inspiring content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We have plenty more to help you tackle life's challenges and achieve your goals. All things considered, fear is more than just an unpleasant emotion. It may have a noticeable impact on a person's life. Addressing and managing fear is crucial for maintaining good health and achieving a balanced, fulfilling life. But how do we manage them? Here are a few practical tips to help face your fears and overcome them. First, it's essential to face your fears directly. If you want to avoid what scares you, it will only strengthen that grip it has on your life. Melanie Perkins, the CEO and co-founder of Canva, faced rejection 100 times before she launched Canva, which is worth $40 billion now. J.K. Rowling faced rejection 12 times before Harry Potter was finally published. Colonel Sanders, founder of KFC, got rejected over 1,000 times before someone finally bought his first chicken recipe. Instead of letting your fears and rejections paralyze you, you should face and keep pushing forward. By confronting them, you turn them into fuel for your success. Fears are often exaggerated in our minds. By facing them, we often find they aren't as terrifying as we thought. This is because fears are usually based on what-ifs, not actual events. As you challenge yourself to face these fears, you gain experience and reduce their power over you. Start with manageable steps, and don't rush the process. For example, if you're anxious about flying, begin by visiting an airport or taking short flights before embarking on longer journeys. Each small victory against your fear builds a foundation of confidence. How do you deal with fear in your daily life? Share your best strategy in the comments below. You never know. Someone might need your advice to take the next big step of their life. Secondly, challenging negative thoughts. Often fear is caused by our own doubts and negative self-talk. When we're afraid of something, it's easy to get into what-if scenarios that only increase the fear. To counter this, start by questioning those negative thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or just assumptions? Many of the world's most successful people have attributed affirmations to overcoming their fears. Muhammad Ali, the legendary boxer, famously used affirmations, "I am the greatest," to boost his confidence and overcome fear. Oprah Winfrey has spoken about using them to overcome fear and self-doubt, particularly early in her career. Jim Carrey, the actor and comedian, has shared that he used positive affirmations and visualization techniques to overcome fear and achieve success in Hollywood. So replace those negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," remind yourself, "I've faced challenges before, and I can handle this too." A key strategy is to throw out those negative thoughts with realistic, optimistic ones. Imagine yourself achieving success and experiencing the satisfaction that comes with it. This change can make fear a stepping stone rather than a barrier. Through carefully questioning and rebuilding your ideas, you gain mastery over your fear and turn it into drive. Recall that the mind is a strong tool. Don't use it to limit yourself, but to increase your confidence. Tip number 3. Build self-confidence. It's a game changer. When someone believes in themselves, fear shrinks. Begin by setting and achieving modest objectives. Every small triumph increases confidence and reduces the crushing feeling of anxiety. Imagine someone starting with a small project and then gradually tackling bigger challenges. Every success, no matter how minor, brings self-belief. Pair this with surrounding oneself with supportive people. Positive vibes from friends or mentors build a solid foundation for self-esteem. Finally, take care of yourself. Positive mental and physical health naturally boosts one's confidence. A healthy diet, adequate sleep, and regular exercise all support a positive self-image. Although gaining self-confidence takes time, following these guidelines will help you go step by step over your fear and learn to accept whatever challenges life throws at you. Lastly, take action. This is where the magic happens. You see, fear is often a lot bigger in our minds than in reality. When we finally face it, we often find that the fear is not as daunting as we thought. Moving beyond your comfort zone, even if it's only a little bit at a time, is what it means to take action. It's about continuing forward despite your fears by overcoming your first hesitation. Every little thing you do, every step you take, weakens the control fear has over you. In the words of Will Smith, the best things in life are on the other side of fear. It is true. You're showing yourself that you can beat fear by acting on it, rather than just facing it directly. Therefore, take action now rather than waiting for fear to pass. Accept the fear. Make that move, and observe how each action makes you stronger. Although the trip may be difficult, each step is worthwhile. In closing, remember that fear is something everyone experiences, but it doesn't have to control your life. Will Smith's story about facing his fear of skydiving teaches us a valuable lesson. Stepping outside of our comfort zones often brings the greatest rewards. Consider fear as a sign that you are about to take a step forward and accomplish something amazing. Like Will Smith, we all possess the courage to face our fears. Therefore, the next time you feel dread beginning to sneak in, push through it instead of allowing it to stop you. Share your own experiences with fear in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you've tackled your challenges. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.